It'll be the best 6 minutes of your life if you watch that video. No idea what time it is. It is definitely way past school, but sometimes you just need a break from the same old, same old. Good morning. It is Monday. Monday came way too soon. This weekend I was just working pretty much all weekend. I worked Saturday and I worked Sunday. Saturday I was focusing on my student growth objective, or SGO, and if you're in New Jersey, it probably will make you feel quite a bit of fear when you hear those letters, but it's done. It's ready to go. And then yesterday I pretty much spent time just lesson planning for the week. So needless to say, I'm a little tired because I didn't get a break this weekend, but that's okay because it is Monday. I am excited to start a new week with my students. I am really happy, to have this opportunity to work with them this week. And, it is Violence Awareness Week, so I will be incorporating some lessons for violence awareness as well. Hi, made it through Monday. So today, my students were taking a look at electron configurations, orbital notations, and noble gas abbreviations. They have a test on Wednesday, so today we were focusing primarily on patterns in the periodic table, looking at how to write electron configurations from the periodic table, and then kind of sprinkling on that noble gas abbreviations towards the end of the period. It worked very, very well. In the past, I've done Pogles for that, but I kind of felt a little bit more pressed for time this time around, so one of the things I opted to do instead was have the kids kind of write electron configurations for certain elements and then write the designated sublevel and number of electrons in the space on the blank periodic table that I gave them, and then they were able to figure out the patterns from there. So it worked really, really well, and it was on the quicker side, which I definitely appreciated. So they did that today, and tomorrow they will be working on a study guide as they prepare for their unit test. All in all, it was a great day. It was a little rainy today. That's why my hair kind of looks crazy. We were actually outside for a fire drill today. It was not expected. But fortunately, everything's fine, thank God. But we were outside for, I'd say, about 15 to 20 minutes. So that's why my hair looks a little crazy and frizzy, because it was kind of raining out. But yeah, so it was a good day. It's hard to believe that we are already halfway through October. It's just gone by so quick. So I have some things that I got to do. I have to copy the test. I have to just kind of do like maybe a once over and just make sure it's okay, and then I'll copy it. And then I actually have a tutoring appointment tonight, so I'm going to go to tutoring, and then hopefully I'm going to go home to work on a presentation. And you may say, what is your presentation for? Well, I am going to be presenting at the New Jersey Science Convention. So if you are in New Jersey, you should come and see me. I will be presenting all about phenomenaling, and feel free to stop by. It is on the 24th, and I start, I believe, at 8:30. So it'll go from 8:30 up until 10, I think it is. I have to double check, but it might be 8 o'clock. But I'll let you know in the next video clip. Good morning, happy Tuesday. So I'm feeling a lot more well rested today. I went to bed fairly early yesterday, so I think that's probably why I'm feeling a little bit better. It's also so much cooler out, so the classrooms aren't nearly as hot, so I'm not feeling so exhausted when I'm done at the end of the day. Today, my students will be working on a study guide to review for their upcoming test. I also am trying to get into school early to record a video that reviews some of the concepts that we've talked about over the course of this unit, because this is the first unit test, so I thought that just giving them some extra scaffolding would help them. In the final part of our unit, we talked about electron configurations, and this is where we painted a complete picture of what the electrons actually look like inside the atom. Okay, so it is the end of the day on Tuesday. Like I always say, I had a great day with my students. I really did, though. I had such a great day with my students. I laugh because I'm like, I must have been really, really good, because I have really, really awesome students this year. I had such a good time, and I think one of the reasons why I'm so happy and excited is because they just did so well on their formative assessment today. In fact, they're so amazing, because they were like, oh, Ms. R, we have a test tomorrow. Are we gonna, take a formative? And I was like, yeah. You know me so well by now, right? Patterns, that's a cross-cutting concept. But anyway, so the kids took a formative. They did amazingly, amazingly well. I did it on Google Forms again. I actually did give them a reference sheet because I thought it would be kind of a pain in the neck to have to scroll up and down to go to the periodic table or to go the electromagnetic spectrum. So they did that. I also came in early today and I recorded a video of just some of the basic concepts in our light unit. The students were very complimentary. They said how much they liked it, and they said it really kind of helped them to piece things together and help them to kind of make sense of a lot more of, how this kind of all fits, if that makes sense. And so the students were very complimentary and appreciative, and it's kind of nice because in Edpuzzle you can see the kids typing to you. So the last thing that I have them do every time is, I ask them, do you have any questions? And the nice thing about Edpuzzle is the kids can type in an actual question and I can respond. I can comment back to them. So often the kids, totally unsolicited, it'll say, do you have any questions? And the kids will say, no, but this video was really helpful. And today it was like, oh my gosh, this video was awesome. So it got to the point when I was reading throughout the day, I told the kids in the last few classes, I'm like, it'll be the best 6 minutes of your life if you watch that video. So they were laughing. They thought it was pretty funny. But and then the cool thing was with the video, I actually used the fizz method. I almost fell off the chair. Did you see that? So with the fizz method, I am no longer casting my screen on Screencast-O-Matic where I use my PowerPoints and stuff. Instead, I wrote everything out on whiteboards, like all the things that I wanted to get across. So I broke up the concepts that we've talked about into 4 whiteboards, and I was able to kind of talk about each whiteboard. And so the kids said that was awesome to just kind of simplify everything. So all in all, it was a great day. The kids were totally into it. And I really feel, based on the formative assessments, that the kids are going to do amazing tomorrow. So it is 3:48 and I am actually going to leave because I have to go home and I have to work on my presentation because that is next week. And oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm totally prepared though. I am so excited. I cannot wait. I just can't wait. It's hard. It's actually hard for me to believe that I am in such an amazing, nurturing school environment between my colleagues and administration that I've grown so much as a teacher. I never thought that I would be in a position to be running professional development and teaching other teachers, some strategies for, things that would make their lives easier and their students' lives easier. I feel so incredibly lucky. And so when I kind of sit here and marvel and reflect and think about how far I've come from that, that chalk and talk teacher to now a teacher who feels empowered to try things and not freak out if things don't go well, it's really an incredible feeling. And, that really is an amazing, amazing school environment that, your administrators will push you to try things. And if it doesn't work, it's okay because you reflect on it and you think about it. And like this environment where it's okay to make mistakes is so important because not only does it translate in the teaching world, but it also translates down into your students and in the classroom world. And so it's pretty awesome that I have this opportunity, and I really hope that if you are in the New Jersey area and you are going to the New Jersey Science Convention next week, I hope you will come and see me. I may be giving away a few things too. Just a little tidbit there, but anyway, so I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to work on my presentation, and I will catch back in with you tomorrow. Happy Wednesday. All right, I am up early. I am going to the gym and then I'm headed to school because I have a strange suspicion that I'm going to have some chemists waiting for me for extra help because today is test day. Well, hello there. So the end of Wednesday is near. So I am here. I don't know. I have no idea what time it is. It is definitely way past school. I would probably say, if I were to guess, it's probably close to 4 o'clock. I have been very busy grading my tests. So today was test day. Test day is the best day, except when you get a whole bunch of tests to grade. And I kind of chuckled to myself because on test days, my students usually don't have homework, but I have so much homework. Oh, I just realized the glare on my glasses is like horrible. So I'm going to take these off. But overall, the students are doing amazing on their tests. I have my stickers out. They are scratch and sniff. So I was going to put some stickers on them because they did so well. I'm very, very happy. I graded one class, and I have 3 more to go, but I'm almost all through my second class. But they're doing great, and I'm pretty happy. So tomorrow, we start a new unit. Well, we're supposed to start a new unit, but I don't think tomorrow I'm going to. I'm actually not 100% sure what I'm doing tomorrow. So it is Violence Awareness Week. So I'm kind of tossing around some ideas in my head as far as what to do with the kids tomorrow. But I think right now what I have to do is just kind of focus on one thing at a time and finish grading these tests, put my stickers on, and then I am going to think about what I can do for Violence Awareness Week. I have some ideas, but we'll see. I have to get it on paper. So. Okay, 2 classes are done finally. So I graded 2 classes. I don't think I'm going to have time to do all of the classes tonight. I probably, I still have to plan for tomorrow. So probably, because I'm running out of juice right now. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably put these in the grade book. I'll plan for tomorrow. And then if I feel up to it, I may start grading the other stack. But like I said, I'm pretty tired, so I don't know if I'm going to have time tonight, but tomorrow I don't have any labs, and I have a bunch of prep periods, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to make some headway with the second stack. But like I mentioned yesterday, I don't want to spend too much time, kind of waiting on grading these because I do have to prepare for my presentation. But tonight I said I was going to kind of take a break from preparing for my presentation, and I think, I'll just kind of go home and relax tonight instead of actually taking these papers home. I don't know about you, but I take papers home and I never end up grading them or doing anything with them. So I bring them back and forth and back and forth. But I'm trying to be better with that this year, and which I have been. I mean, I know it's only October, but I have been better about it. So, yeah. So I guess for me right now, I am going to finish up what I'm doing. I'm going to probably put these in the grade book, and then I'm going to figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. And I still don't know what time it is, but I can only imagine. Well, it is almost 7 o'clock, and I am still at school, and mostly because I wanted to get as much as I could possibly get done. But I was not anticipating staying this late, but that's okay because I got a lot done, and I actually feel much better about my lesson for tomorrow. I was kind of feeling like my lesson on violence awareness was like really disjointed, and then like I didn't know what I wanted to do at the end, so I'm doing a Nearpod with the students, but I needed them to do something with that information, and I kept brainstorming and thinking, and I was like, first like toying with doing a card sort, and then I was like, but I don't know what, they could sort or match or, so that wasn't working. And then I came up with this good idea. I'm still working on it, but I think it's going to be a great idea. I'm going to think it over a little bit more tonight, and then tomorrow, obviously, I'll have to have something to do with them, but I think I have a great alternative to a card sorting activity. But until then, I am going to get out of here because I am very tired and I still have not eaten dinner yet, but I will see you tomorrow. Good morning and happy Thursday. Oh, that always happens. So I am on my way to school this morning. I don't have too much to do. I actually stayed pretty late last night to kind of get everything done that I needed to do. It's about probably 6:30 right now. So today my students will kind of be taking a break from our regularly scheduled program and looking at a violence awareness lesson that I've created. Last year I did something similar, but I have a new and I guess improved lesson, more so because at the end, like, I would tell them like all this information from like the CDC, and I would show them, video clips and stuff, and then there would be some reflection questions embedded in a Nearpod. And the kids always like that. They definitely thought it was cool. And then there's like a collaborative board too. That's kind of nice. But I didn't really feel like it was like, okay, here's all this information, but what are you going to do with it? So today I actually have a closing activity for what they can do with it. And then I have a surprise for them. What I want to do is actually display their work on the classroom door. So hopefully it goes well. I think they'll enjoy it, especially because it's different than, some of the usual stuff that we do in class, and we're kind of taking a break a little bit. And, I think doing stuff like this is really important for your classroom environment, building that classroom community. It also, lets them know that, you're a real person too, and you can have those conversations, and it's nice. So I think it'll go well. But even if it doesn't, my students are great, and they will take it in stride, I'm sure. Hi. So Thursday is over and done with, and I had a great day with my students. We had so much fun. It was kind of a nice day to just kind of get away from, the same old grind of, working and stuff. I mean, the class is fun by its very nature. I make the students very interactive with each other and the content, but sometimes you just need a break from the same old. And so today I did my violence awareness lesson, and it worked so well. It was so awesome what the kids came up with. So as usual, I did a Nearpod, and I put some finishing touches on it that I thought made it a little bit more effective. But the fun part was at the end, when we were kind of talking about basically, what are some things that we can do to prevent violence in schools. And so I gave them a challenge, and the challenge was to come up with a word or a short phrase that incorporates as many element symbols from the periodic table. And I sweetened the deal a little bit, and I told them if they can get the maximum amount of letters out of everybody in the class, then they'll win a prize. So needless to say, they were really into it, and they were really trying to find a word that could kind of summarize, or some like quality that we could use to prevent violence in school. And they did a really great job. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to start hanging them up on the door for everyone to see. And then you can kind of check out and see what the students did. So I'm back in my office area after hanging up all of the elements of violence prevention. Looks pretty good. I'm in 2 classrooms this year, 2, for the majority of the time. And so I had to go from one classroom to the other, and I hung a bunch on one door, and then I had to go and hang the others on the other door. But it looks pretty good, and I think, no matter how old your students are, I think they still enjoy that you hang up their work. So I think that I think they'll be surprised tomorrow, and I think that they'll like it because I didn't know that I was going to do that. So today, all in all, was a very productive day. My students, I think, got a lot out of the Nearpod experience, as far as, that violence comes in many different forms. It's not just limited to, obviously, gun violence. which a lot of students, I think, when they hear school violence, they tend to just go right there. But they recognize that, you know, bullying, fighting, those are all examples of school violence. And they realized, I think, that they have a bigger part to play in this, in that so many of the things that we see can be prevented by just simply saying something and speaking up. And so the message today that I tried to focus on is not only, you know, what is school violence, but how can you take steps to prevent it? Because that's ultimately, I think, what we're trying to do here. The kids have a chance to say something and make a difference. And so many of these things are preventable. So I used a lot of stuff from the Sandy Hook Promise site. They have some really good materials on there. Yeah, so I think, like I said, they got a lot out of it, and I like the end product. I like that I can actually like put something on the door that reminds them of everything that we talked about. So with that said, I am going to get out of here. I may go home and I might grade, because I actually still have two classes of tests to grade. I told myself I would do it today, but I don't really have that much time, because it is almost, I think it's like, yeah, it's 6:15. So I still have to go home. I still have to eat dinner. I don't know, this like keeping up with this work thing is just getting to be like too much. So I really need to kind of take a step back. I think I know why this is happening. I know why I'm spending so much time here, and I know why I'm working so late. Ultimately, it's because I'm trying new things, and I also am preparing for my presentation next week, and I'm just hoping once I kind of get that presentation out of the way, I can kind of calm down and, you know, not spread myself so thin. You know, on top of it, I've had like meetings, and I've had, you know, club meetings and things like that. So it's just been very, very busy. But, you know, at the end of the day, when I sit and reflect and I think of how my students like said to me today, oh, this is really cool, like what I was having them do, like that makes a huge difference for me. The fact that like the kids like acknowledge that I spent so much time trying to figure stuff out for them to do that's actually meaningful. And I think they appreciate that about me, and they appreciate the class. And they appreciate, I think, that when we're told to do stuff for violence awareness, when we're told to do stuff for Week of Respect, it's not just like I'm going through the motions because I'm told to do it. I actually designed something that's meaningful for the kids. And so all these hours of staying after school and, you know, thinking about things to do with them that it's meaningful, and reflections that is meaningful for them, I think it really makes it all worth it, because the kids do really appreciate it. And they, you know, even that one thank you that the kid will say at the end of the day or at the end of the class period or whatever, that just makes a huge difference. And it's just really cool. Like it's a really cool feeling to feel so appreciated and loved. So on that note, I am going to head home and hopefully eat something and maybe do a little bit of grading, like that much. And I will check in with you tomorrow for actually a very cool beginning to my unit on periodic trends, which I think you will like. Good morning and TGIF. So I never really did get to those tests last night. So I am headed into school. It's about 6 o'clock to hopefully at least finish grading one class. I am almost done. I just have one more page on 2 classes to finish grading, and I think I'll be able to finish at least one class before the start of the school day. Well, I'm back in my office area. It is the end of school on Friday. I had a great day with my students again. We started our unit on periodic trends, and naturally I opened with a phenomena. So my students were taking a look at how lithium, sodium, and potassium react when we put it in water. The students were prompted to ask questions, make some observations, and of course, ultimately they were asked to construct an explanation for what they observed.
most of the students realized, the pattern in all of this is as you go from lithium to sodium to potassium, the reaction gets continually more violent. And so what they focused on was constructing an explanation as to why it was getting more violent as you went from lithium, sodium, and potassium. Overall, it was great. And I would say the best part was that the students were able to record their responses to the constructing explanation on whiteboards. But then I did something a little different. Instead of doing a gallery walk, the students actually went ahead and recorded a Flipgrid video. And so that was awesome because they did a great job explaining their models, coming up with some of the questions, kind of the focus questions of this unit, and it was awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better model that these guys constructed. It was just great. So my hope is as we go throughout the unit that we'll be able to kind of hone our understanding of what's going on with this phenomenon as we take a look at Coulombic attraction, as we take a look at ionization energy. So as we go through these different parts of the unit, I'm hoping that we'll be able to go back and revisit and revise our models from there. So with that said, I'm going to get out of here because it is Friday afternoon and I still have some finishing touches that I need to make on my presentation for next week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks so much for watching to the end of this video. I hope you found the information helpful as you teach science to your students. I really don't want to lose touch, so please make sure that you hit both like and subscribe so you get notifications every time I post a new video, and I'll catch you later.